Hey, what's up, everybody? Just a little quick little anime news I found today. So this is from animesenpai.net. Japan's new law might expose mangakas and VTubers' real identity to the public. Um, so this came out September 29th. I'd actually found this while I was scrolling through my Instagram, and I saw it pop up on my For You page. So it looked interesting. I want to see what this is about. Um, trying to see what kind of law could they put in place to make you have to be public. Because usually when you make some kind of any kind of art, you can be anonymous. You don't have to be identified if you don't want to. You can. That's why people have pen names. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and check this out. Japan plans to introduce a new filing system for invoices in October 2023. Consequently, it would force mangakas, VTubers, illustrators, and many more artists who work anonymously to reveal their identities. Their true identities to be stored in a database accessible to the general public. Why do they need a database? Why does that need to be collected? Let's continue. As a result, this change creates fear for many mangakas. That's okay. Yeah, fair enough. Since some prefer to remain hidden, yeah, even after massive fame. Yeah, because a lot of it's very understandable. A lot of these people, uh, if you go to Twitter, Instagram, a lot of people make a lot of spicy material, and yeah, I understand wanting to keep hidden for certain. Even if you just make even if you just make any kind of art, if you don't want to be out there, you just want to make your art and just share it with the world, you shouldn't have to put your actual name behind it. You know what I mean? The issue is that they have no choice but to go with it, as the invoices can only be verified using the real name. Japan's Ministry of Finance has barely given details on this new system, further creating a sense of fear in famous hidden figures. In addition, the ministry is not interested in improving or making countermeasures for public asset access to this data, saying that they do not consider listing someone's real name as highly risky personal information. What are you talking? What? Do you hear what they just said? Uh, they are not. They are not interested in improving or making countermeasures for public access to this data, saying that they do not consider listing someone's real name as highly risky personal information. Yeah, it is. If you have to put your face and name to something, like I said, there's a multitude of reasons why people hide their face and real identity from from their from their work. Um, you don't know what kind of work you don't know what kind of stuff people do when they're not doing their art. They may work a some kind of job where if their art gets out, they may be scrutinized. You never know, man. A lot of like art is subjective. What people find as like art worthy, and that's actually like good art, and that looks cool and nice, and it's very artistic. Some people may look at your art and they're not down with it. They might frown upon it. Like I said, especially when people make very spicy material, it's very understandable why you would want to be hidden. You don't want nobody to know that you make that kind of stuff. Not even for just scrutiny, but there are certain people out there who have this holier than thou mentality about this type of art. You don't know what they can do with that real information. Shoot, I brought up the part about like their face. I mean, they're just talking about putting like your actual government name, attaching it to your art. You don't know you can do a lot with somebody's name. People don't understand that. Everyone's so concerned about like, oh, your credit card and your social security and your address. You, especially if you have a very unique name, that puts you at even more risk. If your name was like John Smith and they had to put you in the database, You know how many John Smiths are there in this world? Like even in Japan, I understand it's Japan. John Smith is just a general example. But if their name was like something in Japanese, that's a very common Japanese name, I mean, your stuff is still public, but you're still in the public database. Like I said, I don't understand what's the purpose of this database. They still haven't explained this. Here you go. I'm talking too early. The individual's name is chosen instead of their contact number or address as a point of identification. The database will soon be open to commercial use as MIF. Is that the ministry? Is that Ministry of Finance? MIS? Stated that the true purpose of this is to make it efficient for companies to deal with a bulk of invoices with several clients since dealing with one invoice at a time is counterproductive. The ministry has finalized the system as it is and has no plans of reviewing how this whole thing should go. In short, the new qualified invoice system will simplify for Japan's tax authorities to gather data regarding how businesses are paying their contractors, including VTubers and manga who work under a company. Okay. So essentially, the way they're phrasing it is this: it's basically for it's for tax purposes, but like you don't have to make that. That doesn't have to be public though. All you have to do. Well, I'm not too sure how the laws work over there, but you got to have a. You can't just. I don't think you can just ask for a company's information on their employees unless there's like a legitimate reason, like if there's some like unless it's like some kind of legal reason. But just that you can't force them people to give up. The only people that should have that information if they're working under a company. Obviously, you got to have that. They got to have that real information. But you can't get that out the company unless you're trying to get them for like some kind of crime. Now, like I said, I don't know how it works in I don't know how the confidentiality laws work over there when it comes to businesses and their employees. It's a little different over here in America. So I don't know if it's the same or it might be something different. I'm not too sure. Companies must submit a qualifying invoice to show how much they pay to their contractors once the new qualifying invoice system is fully operational. They wouldn't be able to claim a tax credit for the salaries given if they don't do it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is all about money, man. They're just trying to get more money out of them. Therefore, if you own a firm, you want all your contractors to give you qualified invoice. But the problem is to get a qualified invoice, exactly. A contract has to register by their real name in the new system, meaning mangakas, writers, VTubers, and other artists can't use their stage name or pen name to get registered. Okay, yeah. Um, yeah, this is crazy. Who would have thought of this? Let's see. Fruition's opposition in the petition. People have already started protesting against the system. And as it is focused only on the benefit of big companies and completely disregards when individual one, stripping them of their rights. The lack of interest and unsatisfactory answers from the Ministry of Finance's side has also caused people to raise their voice. If it wasn't bad enough, freelancers are encouraged to participate in this system. They want to keep working, almost as if they are forced to take a specific option to survive. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Basically, in order to work, um, they basically have to give out their personal information. But I like I said, this shouldn't be a public thing. This should only be between who you're getting contracted by, because obviously for legal reasons and tax reasons, you can't write no check to let's say, unless that's their legal name. But you need someone's legal information anyway. Like I said, I'm sure over there that's still the same. Like over here in America, in order to pay somebody to write them a check, you gotta have their real name, their bank institution information, like the route number, checking number, all that. Um, social, like that stuff has to be valid because we gotta make sure we're giving the money to the right person. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. This new system also imposes a consumption tax on the participants, burdening the freelancers even more stress expenses than most participants are already in a stress-induced field. Yeah, depending on what you make. Depending on what you make. So as a result, the voice actor advocacy group Voice-ition has opposed the new system, and a Change.com petition has already started with 90K signatures. Nice. All right, so we got to this is the end of it. This will put even some of the notable mangakas in an awkward position. One we can think of is the author of One Punch Man, who has successfully keep his identity safe for a long time. If we look at the VTuber side, it gets even worse. Yeah. Also found out today the person that made Jujutsu Kaisen. That's not his or her. That's not their real name. That's also a pet name. Pet name. That's also a pen name. I didn't know that, but I thought that was a weird name. When I saw that, when I first started reading, I was like, Gigi. That's the way it's spelled is Gege. I mean, you can use it as a real name, but it's just I don't know. It was just a strange name to see. VTubers are encouraged not to share anything from their private life or real. Of course, that's why they don't. You never see them. That's the whole point of the avatar. The avatar is the center of attention, not the actual person. Um, VTubers assume the role of another character and entertain the audience in their own unique, talented way. This can force many of them to be exposed to the public. Yeah, I mean, if you have the right to privacy. If you don't want to be public, you don't have to be public. You can't be forced to be public. Like I said, that's another difference. Like I said, I don't know how that works in Japan. In America, you have the right to privacy. I don't know the privacy laws over there, so this may be something. I guess they have like maybe it's something that they're kind of like lackadaisical on. Like they have the ability to get into your private life. Doesn't sound right, but every country is different. Some VTuber agencies prohibit their employees not to share the information. Now, even though the agency will have to bend their knees to the new invoice system, it might even force some of them to quit. But we hope they will get through the situation. Yeah, yeah, because then it's gonna put people in a bad situation. Because you got to think I gotta let them know who I am publicly, or I'm gonna just have to just bounce, or work or literally work by myself. Like I don't work with no agents. Um, I guess the problem is you can't really work for nobody. You're not gonna make a whole bunch of money, especially as a VTuber. Um, I think I don't even know how that works because like even like ad revenue, like if you get like sponsorships, I'm sure you have to like you got to give up the information. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, this will be interesting to see going forward. Like I said, this came out the 29th, so like a week and a half ago when this was published. Um, so yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. I thought this was an interesting little story to talk about. Um, so yeah, if you got any anime news, any manga news, any manga anime suggestions you like, let me know. I see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Have a good one.